قوة إلا بالله العلي العظيم. حسبنا الله ونعم الوكيل، نعم المولى ونعم النصير. أعوذ بالله السميع العليم من الشيطان اللعين الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين خالق السماوات والأرض إلها واحدا أحدا صمدا لم يتخذ صاحبة ولا ولدا، والصلاة والسلام على أشرف الأنبياء والمرسلين خاتم النبيين رحمة للعالمين طه وياسين بالقاسم محمد.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد
وعلى آله الطيبين الطاهرين المعصومين المظلومين المنتجبين، ورحمة الله على محبيهم ولعنة الله على أعدائهم وقاتليهم وغاصب حقوق حقهم منكر فضائلهم مجمعين من يومنا هذا إلى يوم الدين. أما بعد، فقد قال الله سبحانه وتبارك في كتابه الحكيم وفرقانه المجيد وقوله الحق. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. إنما يريد الله ليذهب عنكم الرجس أهل البيت ويطهركم تطهيرا.
اللهم صل على محمد وآل محمد.
मुमिनीन मोमिनात हज़रात ने हज़रत सिद्दीक़त ताहिरा, अस्सलामु अलैकुम जमीअन व रहमतुल्लाह। अज़मल्लाहु उजूरना व उजूरकुम बिमसाबिना अहलुल बैत अलैहिमुस्सलाम. I convey condolences to the Imam of the time, to the Ummah, to the Mu'mineen, to the household of the Prophet on these days that we are marking the Shahadat of Hazrat Fatimiyya Zahra Salamullahi alayha. Yesterday in our discussion, we were mentioning about how Shaitan tries to misguide us, how he is persistent in misguiding us, how he does not stop. यानी रोकता नहीं है, चाहता रहता है कोई एक तरीका काम नहीं करता है कि दूसरे तरीका इख्तियार करता है, दूसरा काम नहीं करता है तीसरे इख्तियार करते हैं. Our responsibility, our obligation to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is to be vigilant, to be careful and to be observant as to what he is doing. And जो उनका तरीका होता है उनसे ज़्यादा सख्त हमारा जवाब होना चाहिए. Whatever he uses against us, we need to use stronger strength against us. You know, when you are ill with an infection, and you've got an infection and you need to take an antibiotic, what is that antibiotic? The antibiotic is actually a strengthening defense mechanism that is fighting that biotic that is inside you. That's what they call antibiotic. So the muqabila, the fight, the battle has to be there with something stronger than what is the enemy. And this is where we sometimes become negligent, we become ghafil, we become asleep, if you want to call it that. Yesterday when I said that you have to know what your opponent's strengths and weaknesses are in order to be able to win the game. The same way with Shaitan. Shaitan's skills, Shaitan's attempts have to be known, and then we have to fight against it. One of the things that I mentioned yesterday, he's very patient. He has no hurry in misguiding people. कोई इसको जल्दी नहीं है. 100 साल निकल जाए, 10 साल निकल जाए, 1000 साल निकल जाए, तो कोई जल्दी नहीं है. बहकाना है, नहीं कि बहकाना ये टाइम फ्रेम के अंदर. याद रखना, बहकाना है इंसान को. बनी आदम को चैलेंज तो वही किया था. The challenge he had made was, I will misguide Bani Adam. And in Surah Mubarak Bani Israel, Allah Ta'ala quotes Shaitan by saying that I will misguide them. وَذُرِّيَّتَهُمْ, I will misguide their children. यानी औलाद आदम का मैं मिसगाइडेंस करूंगा, औलाद आदम को जहन्नम में डाल दिया जाऊंगा. मेरा एक सवाल है, सवाल एक है कि अगर ये मुकाबला आदम और इब्लीस का है ना, मुकाबला जंग आदम और इब्लीस का है, ए इब्लीस, ए शैतान, जरा एक सवाल का जवाब तो दीजिए. मुकाबला आदम से है, लेकिन बनी आदम पर झगड़ा क्यों उतर रहा है? गुस्सा बनी आदम पे क्यों उतर रहा है? आदम से लड़ लो, आदम से झगड़ा कर लो, आदम से झगड़ा कर लो. लेकिन पता ये चला अव्वल से कि झगड़ा लड़ाई नबी से होगा, इसका गुस्सा निकलेगा आले नबी पर. इसलिए सलवात पर भगवान बनी आदम को बहकाऊंगा, लेकिन इसके दलील ये हो गया है कि दुश्मनी आदम से इतनी सख्ती इसलिए बनी आदम पे. इसका दलील दुनियावी तौर पे, अगर किसी से मेरी झगड़ा लड़ाई हो जाए, किसी से मुझे नापसंदी हो जाए, I don't like you, मैं आपको मारूंगा, आपसे लड़ाई करूंगा, आपको गालियां दूंगा, नऊज़ु बिल्लाह, एक हद तक रहती है। लेकिन अगर मुझे ज्यादा दुख पहुंचाना है आपको, तो जाकर आपके बेटे को सर पे मारूंगा तो क्या लगेगा? आपके बेटे के तौहीन करूंगा, आपके बेटे को डांटूंगा, तो बजाय आपको डालने पर सख्ती होती है, लेकिन इतने जो मेरे बेटे के बेकसूर अगर बेटा है और उसको क्यों डांटा हूं? मेरे साथ लड़ाई है, मेरे साथ झगड़ लो। लेकिन पता है कि दुख उधर पहुंचता है, और यही इब्लीस का तरीका था, यही आले इब्लीस का तरीका है। आदम was the problem, not Bani Adam. There was nobody in Bani Adam that did anything. पैरेलल आप देख रहे हो ना, पैरेलल देख रहे हो ना। आदम ने कसूर भी आदम का तो नहीं था, नहीं, आदम का कसूर नहीं था। ऊपर से हुक्म आया था कि ए फरिश्तों, ए मखलूक, उस जमाने में जो भी मखलूक थी, वो इज़कुलना लिल मलाइकति यसजुदू लि आदम, मलाइका ने ये तय नहीं किया अपनी मर्जी से। हजरत आदम ने नहीं कहा कि आप लोग आकर मुझे सजदा करो, नऊज़ु बिल्लाह, हजरत आदम ने तो नहीं कहा था, ऊपर से हुक्म आया था। लेकिन इसका जो सब्जेक्ट है, जो नाउन आ गया था सामने, सब्जेक्ट मैटर वाज हजरत आदम। अगर खुदा पर कोई गुस्सा करना भी चाहे तो नहीं कर सकते ना, अल्लाह इज अल्लाह। हाउ कैन यू फाइट विद रब्बुल इज्जत वल जलाल? हाउ कैन यू फाइट विद गॉड द क्रिएटर? ही कैन ब्लो यू आउट इन 1 सेकंड, इन अ मिली सेकंड, इन अ माइक्रो सेकंड। इसके कम मुझे पता नहीं क्या अल्फाज होते हैं। सो हियर the problem, the subject was not even Adam, but Adam became the recipient of it. Why? Because the order of Allah was outside of my acceptance ability. Allah told me to do something which I didn't want to do. وَإِذْ قُلْنَا خَلَقْتَ الطِّينَ وَخَلَقْتَ النَّارَ. I am made from nar, he is made from teen. Simple matter. He is less than I am. I am better than he. And so what happens here is that the order of Allah has to be confronted. So Adam just becomes what they say in English terminology, collateral damage. Collateral damage का लफ्ज़ सुना है ना, कि इतने सारे लोगों को शूट करना है, मकसद हमारा वही है, लेकिन ये लोग सामने आ गए तो इसको भी हम कत्ल कर देंगे, शूट कर देंगे। ये अमेरिकन पॉलिसी है, बाय द वे, यूएस की ये पॉलिसी, कलेक्ट्रल डैमेज। जब कुछ भी हो जाएगा, किसी शादी में एक्सप्लोजन बॉम्ब डालेंगे, ड्रोन यहाँ पे आके किसी जगह पे मैयत में उड़ेगा, क्या कहेंगे? कलेक्ट्रल डैमेज, अनइंटेंशनल कलेक्ट्रल डैमेज। और खुदा ना खास उनके सामने उनका कलेक्ट्रल डैमेज करेंगे तो पूरी शहर को वाइप आउट कर देंगे। ये उनका तरीका है। ये इब्लीस से सीखे है ना, सीखे इब्लीस से, क्योंकि हम पूरी बड़ी आदम को वाइप आउट कर देंगे, क्योंकि हमारा मुकाबला आदम से है, और वो भी आदम से नहीं, परवरदिगार का हुक्म से था। अब या अय्युहर रसूल बल्लिग मा उनज़िला इलैका मिन रब्बिक, सूरह माइदा में है ना, ए रसूल पैगाम पहुंचा दो। बल्लिग यहाँ पे फ़ेल अमर है, कुरान मजीद में फ़ेल अमर आते हैं। बल्लिग मा उनज़िला इलैका मिन रब्बिक, मिन रब्बिक। इसलिए किसी ने आकर पूछा था कि ए मोहम्मद, क्या ये आप आपकी विलायत अमीरुल मोमिनीन अली इब्न अबी तालिब अपनी तरफ से बयान कर रहे हो या खुदा से ये हुक्म आया है? शायद वो भूल गए थे, वो भूल गए, वो आयत भूल गए, है ना, उनके सामने अनाज़ हुई थी लेकिन भूल गए। तो फौरन पैगंबर इस्लाम जवाब दिया कि मेरी तरफ से कोई ये नहीं है, मा उनज़िला इलैका मिन रब्बिक, रब की तरफ से हुक्म आ गया, मैं तो सिर्फ मैसेंजर हूं। मैं कोई डिसरिस्पेक्ट करना नहीं चाहता, पैगाम ये कह सकते मैं तो सिर्फ पोस्टमैन हूं, पैगाम पहुंचाना है मिनल्लाहि इलल उम्मा, मिनल्लाहि इलल उम्मा। तो ये पैगंबर का जवाब यही था। तो हारिस ने कहा कि अगर वाकई ये अमर खुदा है, ये फैल खुदा है, ये हुक्म खुदा है, तो आसमान से कोई अजाब आ जाए, जुमला खत्म भी नहीं होता, एक पत्थर आ गया था, वो मरहूम हो गए। मरहूम अपनी तरफ से कह रहा हो, उसका वहां पे क्या हाल होगा, कोई रहम नहीं होगा उनके ऊपर, क्योंकि ये पैगंबर को इन्होंने कलेक्ट्रल डैमेज बना दिया था। पैगंबर का मुकाबला कर रहे थे, हुक्म तो उधर से आया था, उनका पैगंबर नहीं था, उनका हुक्म नहीं था। विलायत अली, नबूवत रसूल अपनी तरफ से नहीं होता है, खुदा की तरफ से होता है। क्या बात। The promise we had made yesterday, कि शैतान changes us or tries to change us in different ways. He changes our whole mindset जो हलाल होते हैं वो हराम बन जाते हैं, हराम होते हैं वो हलाल बन जाते हैं. और आज खास तौर पर सोसाइटी में आप देख लीजिए कि क्या सूरत हाल है. कोई ऐसी चीज है, कौन सी ऐसी चीज है, what makes us upset, what causes us to be angry? Think about it for a moment. Once upon a time, and if you talk to your parents or your grandparents' generation, they will answer you one thing. They will say that yes, at one time we used to get angry. Yesterday I gave a small example, that if I would sit against the wall, my father would pinch us. If I would sit on a chair, I would not get dinner for the next 3 days, I'm sure. Nowadays you try that? Why? Everybody wants to sit on a chair. हम ऐसे कम्युनिटीज में गए थे कि छोटे छोटे बच्चे कुर्सी पे बैठते, बूढ़े लोग बेचारे जमीन पे बैठे. I've seen this with my own eyes. I don't want to name any place, I don't want to name any community. I'm just saying I've seen it. I'm sure you have as well. So what is happening is right is becoming wrong, wrong is becoming right, and there is nothing that is differentiating it. But I had a phone call, a very interesting phone call. मैं ये सच बता रहा हूँ, बताऊँ नहीं कि किसने फोन किया. I had a question. जब ये legalization of cannabis हो गया था कनाडा में, somebody called me up and she says, Sheikh Saab, so now is it halal in Islam as well? MashaAllah. मैं मजाक नहीं कर रहा है. Actually, I'm on the phone. मैं सोचा कोई मजाक कर रहे हैं. This is a joke. So I said, Canada had legalized alcohol 80 years ago. Does that mean it's halal? You know, same-sex, same-gender marriages are legalized about 7 years ago. Canada was one of the first 5 or 10 countries to legalize it. Does that make that halal? I mean, there's so much that, pork has been available throughout from the beginning of Canada. Does that make it halal? Just because others have made something halal doesn't mean the laws of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala change. But what happens is Shaitan wants us to be thinking that, okay, now this is aam. और जो चीज आम हो जाती है, मुसलमानों को भी गलत फहमी हो जाती है कि ये हमारे लिए आम. You see how Shaitan works? You see how? When once upon a time, these discussions, whether in the movies, whether in the malls, अगर आप कोई ऐसी चीज देखो जो हमारे अकीदे के खिलाफ है, हमारी शरीयत के खिलाफ है, if you see 2 men holding hands, once upon a time this would have been seen as disgusting. 2 ladies holding hands in Middle East में जाओ तो ये तो हम हो गए, friends, दोस्त एक दूसरे के गले मिलाएंगे. ये we're talking about next level पे, आप समझ रहे हैं मैं कुछ कहना चाहता हूँ. So here that was something that was seen as disgusting, it was seen as horrible, it was seen as unnatural. I remember going once to Vancouver में जब था, तो at that time they were just bringing this same gender. This is going back about 10-12 years, and so they were thinking of bringing this acceptance into the school board. So I was making a presentation. I said that क्योंकि वहाँ पे Catholic schools में भी ये मसला होता था, public school में भी. So I said, do you realize God created Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve? So I said there's a natural course that God wants the world to go under. So it's not something that we are saying wrong or unnatural. We're going on the natural course of events. And so they were saying that no, but we have to bring about acceptance. लेकिन उस वक्त acceptance की बात हो रही थी. Now it's actually encouragement. Acceptance एक जगह पे, encouragement हो रही है. Or I can give you an example firsthand from my own child's school. They were saying to the students, ये वाकिन हुआ है, इसलिए I took my kids out and put them into an Islamic school, and they said, the teacher said, you guys can go to a corner, see how you want to feel each other, hug each other, kiss each other, and if you like it, maybe you are this. What has happened in the society, ये पिछले साल की बात है, what is happening in the society is right is becoming wrong, what is acceptable is becoming unacceptable, and what was unacceptable is becoming not only acceptable but encouraged. And these kids are going to be suffering that. Very slowly. और अगर आप इसको सिखाएंगे, if you try and teach them that this is wrong, that is right, this is not acceptable for us, child services will ask you, why are you teaching your children to be discriminatory? Why are you teaching your children to be racist and biased and prejudiced? The only thing we can do is say, okay, for us, this is not acceptable. The rest of the community can do it. But what I'm saying is now, we have become accepting of certain things and certain sins that are in the community that even one generation before we would never have tolerated. We would not have tolerated. So Shaitan has worked very carefully, very well, I must say. That whatever is right, nowadays, if you ask a student at school, if you ask a child at school, did you finish your namaz? Because summer, winter mein, Zuhr Asr namaz, jaldi kaza ho jati hai. Jo log bus mein aate hai, they have to come by bus, if they have to come by, walking or something, the namaz is kaza. So I remember when I was in high school in Kitchener, there was only one other Muslim in that school, one Muslim lady who was a muhajjaba. We were the only two Muslims. We used to ask for the health room. So they would give us the health room, go finish your namaz, your salat, your prayers, and by the time you get home it's already dark. So your Zuhr will not be kaza. Nowadays when you talk to students, you talk to the children, do you make any arrangements? No! Don't you know it's not cool to pray at school? It's not cool to pray. It's not cool not to eat this and not to eat that. Ye jawab aa jate hai. It's not cool to do this. It's not cool to fast or pray. Are you mad? Have you gone mad? That's what old people used to do. Tell your friends you're praying. They'll think that, is everything okay? Why you have to pray? This is freedom. You're free in a free country. Who's making you pray? Oh, my parents. Really? But your parents tell them that they don't have to make you pray. Because if they make you pray, you can call 911 or you can call their family and child services and they'll give you freedom. They'll take you to a new home where you can eat whatever you want, you can do whatever you want, you don't have to pray. You see what's happening? And if you think I'm joking, talk to Mu'mineen in Toronto and in Ottawa and Montreal. We have got examples. We've got examples of children who didn't want to pray, who didn't want to fast, who were taken and given freedom. You see how the connotation is. हम आपको आजादी दे रहे हैं, आपको हुर्रियत दे रहे हैं, आपको ये clutches में से निकाल रहे हैं, नमाज किस लिए पढ़नी है? And in today's discussion we'll talk about these problems that are in our society and how the Ahlul Bayt have helped us solve it 1400 years ago. 1400 years ago. But what we have to understand is that the things that should be bothering us no longer bother us. And the things that shouldn't bother us, those are the things that are bothering us now. You see what the community has gone through? 180-degree change. You just talk to the children, the students and youngsters. Look at the video games. Look at these PSPs and some of these things that are happening. And you will see what I'm talking about. You get points for killing people. You get points for running over people in wheelchairs and those who are walking with a stick. And the most vulnerable. And you see Gauri says, Alhamdulillah, I have not seen it and I don't know, but people have told me about it. I encourage, if your son or daughter or your child, your teenager is playing a game, sit down with them and just see what the game is like. Learn it. Sometimes we need to learn things and be with them in order for us to fully appreciate and understand what they're doing and what the psychological effects of that are. Because the society is becoming hard-hearted now. जो नरमी थी, जो हमको soft-heartedness होना चाहिए था, the kindness that we needed to have for each other, with each other as a humanitarian, as an insaniyat, that insaniyat has been taken away from us. And we think we are civilized people, हम advanced हैं, हम civilized country में रहते हैं, western country में, फख्र के साथ western countries का हम करते हैं, लोगों के साथ हम इस तरह बात करते हैं, जब लोग ईस्ट अफ्रीका में जाते हैं, जब इंडिया पाकिस्तान में जाते हैं, और हमारे दोस्तों के साथ बात होती है, I've actually heard people from Canada, from America, from England, हाँ, हम तो Canadian है, हम तो भाई देखो तुम क्या हो तुम हो क्या? फिर फख्र करना कि हम Canadian है, हम American है, हम British है, हम European है. क्या फख्र है? मलाइका क्या आपसे यही पूछेंगे कि शफीक साहब क्या आपका पासपोर्ट कौन सा था? कैनेडियन पासपोर्ट था, यूरोपियन पासपोर्ट था, आपके पास डॉलर्स थे, येन थे, यूरोस थे? ये पूछेंगे या पूछेंगे ये कैसे अखलाक लेकर आए हो, इंसानियत लेकर आए हो या बदमाशी लेकर आए हो? ये पूछेंगे. कल की तकरीर में उसको आगे बढ़ेंगे. We can see that how the Ahlul Bayt reminded us. Just mashallah, beautiful recitation of Hadith Qissa by one of our youngsters. And I'm very pleased to see youngsters giving azan, giving du'as, reciting the Hadith Qissa. May Allah reward your community, inshallah. Please keep this up. This is actually a source of greatness for your whole community, for all of us. When our children are advancing, they're getting closer to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Please continue to encourage this. As a brother in Islam, whether I am alive or I am dead, this is my request to the community, inshallah. This is our Imambargha Dar. These are our Imambargha Dar tomorrow, inshallah. Tomorrow I will be in my cupboard, inshallah. I'm hoping that they will pray Fatiha for me when I'm not there. Jazakallah khair. One salawat ala Muhammad and ala Muhammad. Practical lessons. We don't want to talk in hypothesis. We want to talk in practicality. This is what my promise was to you yesterday. When you recited the hadith Qissa, tarjuma karna nahi chahta ho. Tarjuma to aap padh sakte ho. It's a very simple job to do the translation. That you have to do at home. That is your homework for tonight, inshallah. In these ayyam Fatimiyya, your homework is just to do the recitation of the English translation. I want to talk about the message that we don't really appreciate or think about from hadith Qissa. Translation though, it's very easy. Aap log sabko malum hai. You know, the Prophet came home to the house of the Fatima Zahra. He was not feeling well. He was not feeling well. He asked for the Chadar-e-Yamani. The Zahra salam gave it to her. What I wanted to come to is something that we don't talk about. Hadith Qissa sometimes becomes a fill in the gap. हमारे कुछ functions में, alhamdulillah यहाँ की बात नहीं कर रहा हूँ, कुछ functions में fill in the gap हो जाता है. मौलाना late हो गए हैं, hadith Qissa पढ़ लो. प्रोग्राम थोड़ा सा लेट हो रहा है, हदीस के साथ पढ़ लो. वो दूल्हा दुल्हन नहीं आए हैं, हदीस के साथ पढ़ लो. वो फिल इन द गैप हो जाते हैं, वो कॉकिंग हो जाते हैं ना, जो जमीन पे वो कुछ होल है, वो फिल इन द ब्लैंक, फिल इन द टाइम गैप हो जाते हैं. वी हैव नॉट रियली अप्रिशिएटेड एंड अंडरस्टूड व्हाट इज द मैसेज एंड द मीनिंग ऑफ हदीस के साथ. हजरत ज़हरा की एक नरेशन है जो जाबिर इब्न अब्दुल्लाह अंसारी नरेट कर रहे हैं. यहाँ पे जो पैगंबर इस्लाम आते हैं, सलाम करते हैं. The first introduction of this hadith was that Hazrat Zahra is narrating what happened. That her father came in, said salam, and said, I'm not feeling well. He asked for the Chadar-e-Yamani. What is the Chadar-e-Yamani? I don't want to go into, I don't have the time right now, because I need to come to the important points of today's discussion. Just after that, young Imam Hussein comes in. Assalamu alayki ya Ummah. Right away he greets her. Now think for a moment. I'm saying Imam Hussein, but he was only 5, 6 years old. Okay, he comes to the house, which was adjoining the masjid, right? He comes in, knocks, he comes in the house, immediately he greets his mother. Assalamu alayki ya Ummah. And he greets her very beautifully. Wa alayka assalam ya qurrataini wa thamarat afwad. She replies the greeting with a very loving greeting. You can see how the immediate love is transferred from the mother to the son, from the son to the mother. Now think about for a moment how sometimes we enter our homes, or how our children enter our homes. What they do, what they say, how they say it. Now, you look at the life of Hazrat Zahra, right away she greets him, and then Imam Hassan comes in. Imam Hassan, Salamu alayki ya Ummah. Right away she greets in the same way. Her greeting, her reply, Wa alayka salam ya thamarat afwadi ya qurratayn ya qurrat. The exact same greeting she is replying to Imam Hassan that she gave to Imam Hussein. What this is teaching us, and to my mothers, my daughters, my sisters, I'm just reminding you that in Hadith Qissa we are first told to make sure we treat our children equally. We have to understand कि बच्चे की जो साइकोलॉजी होती है, बच्चे की जो मेंटालिटी होती है, वो बहुत नाजुक है. It is very, very fragile, and they need to be assured that the parents love them fully, that there is no discrimination कि बाबा loves him more or mommy loves her more. First, at the outset. That is why there's a very famous story narrated at the Wiladat and the Wafat of Hazrat Zahra. We narrate this many times. We narrate this, that one day Imam Hassan and Imam Hussein come to be with Fatima. They both have drawn a picture. They've made a drawing. He says, Mummy, which is the best one? Which is the best one? Dono same. Dono achhe. Imam Hassan says, Mummy, you have to pick one. No, they're both nice. The Imam Hussein also insists, Mummy, you have to pick one of them. These are young children, remember, 3, 4 years old. So, हमारे भी बच्चे ऐसे करते हैं ना हमको. बीवी फातिमा आखिर तक कहते नहीं, दोनों सेम है, दोनों अच्छे हैं. आखिर में हज़रत फातिमा से पर ये जबर किया गया, इंसिस्टेंस किया गया कि नहीं एक पिक करो. तो she took the tasbih, she took her tasbih. She goes, I'll tell you what, ये जो 99 दाने हैं, I'm going to break the tasbih. Whoever gets more दाने, their picture is the best. सही है ना? That's the fairest way. I can't pick because दोनों सेम लग रहे हैं, दोनों अच्छे हैं, दोनों अपने मुकाम पे अच्छे हैं. So she takes the tasbih, she breaks it. 49 dana go on Imam Hassan's side, 49 dana go on Imam Hussein's side. The one dana is rolling down. Jibreel Amin comes down from the hukum of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, splits that in half. One goes to Hassan, one goes to Hussein. Alayhi wassalam.
Subhanallah, subhanallah, mashallah.
This is you see the equality. one of the things that we realize, we know, in our hearts, we may have a child who might be our favorite. It's natural. We may have somebody that is our favorite. What Islam is reminding us is that is in the heart, that is between you and Allah. There is no harm in that. But don't show that differentiation. Don't show that prejudice. Don't show that favoritism. This is also important when you're in a workplace and your employees are there. As long as your employees on the same wavelength, the same platform, keep them equal. Yes, you will have somebody who works harder, jisko aap zyada tasks de sakte ho, zyada assignments de sakte ho. Lekin you have to make sure that you keep equality. Because you don't want to create a poisonous environment where one feels that they are better than the other. One feels worse than the other, or one feels, dono galat hai. Dono poisonous hai. Main agar superior feel karu, wo bhi galat hai. Main inferior feel karu, wo bhi galat hai. So this is one of the things that Islam has taught us. Hadith reminds us that equality is important. Imperative. And then what happens? They go to the Prophet, like I said, main tarjuma nahi padha hu, main ek point pe aa raha hu. Then Amirul Mu'mineen, Imamul Muttaqeen comes in. As-salam, as-salam, jazakallah. As-salamu alayki ya bint Rasulullah. He doesn't come in the house and say, Assalamu alaikum Fatima. How I might enter my house, how we might enter our houses. Main apni baat kar raha, aap logon ki baat nahi kar raha. Sometimes we think we are King Kong and we think we are gorilla. We enter the house, where's my food, where's my lunch, where's my dinner, where's my champal, where's my newspaper, where's my remote control? Sometimes I enter like that. And so if I enter like a gorilla, then I'm wondering why there's a tigress on the other side. Acha, aise enter rahe ho? Alaikum salam. Sawal salam aise kiya, jawab aisa aayega. When I go in and I've taken tumko pata nahi hai mera din kaisa gaya? Tumko pata hai mera din kaisa gaya? Then we start this right away. What does Mola do? They say in English, leave your baggage outside. Psychologists आपको बताएंगे कि when you enter the house, if you want to maintain harmony in the house, leave your baggage outside. Baggage का मतलब क्या है? Briefcase? नहीं. Baggage मतलब क्या? Boot, shoes? नहीं. Baggage means जो भी आपके tensions और pressures है वो बाहर रख देना, अंदर दाखिल हो जाओ. Psychologists अब भी इन्होंने डिस्कवर किया था. जरा काश ये लोग हदीस की किताब पढ़ लेते 1400 साल पहले, तुम्हारे ये प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाते यहाँ से सोसाइटी के प्रॉब्लम सॉल्व हो जाते हैं. मौला अली was not working easy. इसका जॉब कितना सख्त था. गर्मी में फार्म में काम करना है, 8 घंटे 10 घंटे काम करना है. And then his tensions, his pressures, he has to make sure the whole ummah is careful. Yet when he comes into the house, he leaves everything behind. I was reading one psychologist's report. He said that if you want to, when you go home, before you go home, go for a 2 or 3 minute drive or a 2 or 3 minute walk before you go to the house. He was explaining why. He said the reason is, if you go on your normal route, you've got your normal tensions, you're going there and you're going with that baggage inside. When you go around for a walk or for a drive 2 minutes, what you are doing is you're getting rid of those baggages and you are entering fresh-minded into your house. See what Mawla does? He enters right away with a very unique, special Assalamu alayki ya bint Rasulullah. He uses the title of Fatima Zahra. He uses the respectful connotation for Fatima Zahra. Not that you're my wife. He doesn't use just the name. He uses the title. This is why, the sad thing, again coming back to our society, in our community. I don't know, aap log kisi ki baat nahi kar raha, but generally I've heard, sometimes managers, when they're talking to the secretaries, oh, how are you sweetie, how are you darling? When their wife, kya chahiye, kaun sa vegetables chahiye, fruits lao, khud nahi la sakte ho? Or secretary says, how are you today? How is your day been? Well, see how we're doing it. What we should be doing with the family, we're doing with others. What we should be doing with others, we're doing with the family. There is certain, sometimes people tell me, oh, how can you call your wife honey or sweetie? How can you call your children loving names? Kya baat hai? Surah Hujurat mein hai कि nickname se na bulao kisi ko. सही बात है, निकनेम से ना बुलाओ, मैं कोई निकनेम नहीं यूज करूंगा मेंबर से क्योंकि डिसरिस्पेक्ट हो जाएंगे, लेकिन टर्म्स ऑफ एंडियरमेंट और होता है, निकनेम्स और होते हैं। और याद रखना, अपने वाइफ के लिए और वाइफ अपने हस्बैंड के लिए सिर्फ February 14 अच्छा दिन नहीं होना चाहिए, एवरी डे ऑफ द 365 शुड बी सल्लल्लाहु अलैहि मोहम्मद। ये सोसाइटी ने क्या कर दिया है, बस एक दिन उनके लिए, आपके मुहिब्बा के लिए या मुहब्बा के लिए, एक दिन मदर्स डे होता है, एक दिन फादर्स डे होता है, एक दिन ग्रैंड पेरेंट्स डे होता है, एक दिन ये डे होता है। अरे भाई, हमारे शरीयत के खिलाफ है। हमारा एवरी डे मदर्स डे है, एवरी डे फादर्स डे है, एवरी डे वैलेंटाइंस डे हमारे वाइफ के लिए या हस्बैंड के लिए है, एवरी डे चिल्ड्रंस डे होना चाहिए। एक दिन साल में क्यों नहीं करते हो भाई? कार्ड बेचने के लिए और रोजेस बेचने के लिए, और रोजेस का प्राइस आप 3 टाइम्स लगा देते हो, इसलिए क्या है? सोसाइटी क्या कर रही है? बस एक दिन देते हो साल में, और इस एक दिन अगर आप भूल जाओ तो इन्ना लिल्लाहि व इन्ना इलैहि। आप भूल गए, मेरे बर्थडे भूल गए, हमारी एनिवर्सरी भूल गए। Nowadays actually sometimes even women have been forgetful है। इतनी सारी तारीख होती है, जब तक वो फोन में ना डाल देवे कैलेंडर में तो वो खुद भी भूल जाते हैं। So alhamdulillah, it's not only us anymore है। Once upon a time we used to get in trouble, now alhamdulillah works for both, क्योंकि इतनी सारी तारीखें हैं। बच्चे के बर्थडे भी याद रखना है, और दोनों इस्लामिक डेट, और ये डेट वो भी करना है, ये करना है, वो करना है। So what happens is we are forgetting that every day we have to treat each other special. Every day our children, our spouses, our parents if they are alive, our grandparents if they are alive, our children, every day they have to be treated specially. Not just one day in the year. This is a mistake that we're making. And so what ends up happening is, you see Amir al-Mu'minin entering, leaving everything behind, saying salam. Which Ali are we talking about? Allahu Akbar. Amir al-Mu'minin ka maqam kya hai? Iska status kya hai? If you look at who we're talking about, it's not just an ordinary husband. This was the whole defense policy of Islam. Ali ibn Abi Talib was not an ordinary individual. This was the same Ali who could take the Bab of Khaybar, the door of Khaybar, which 40 strong people used to live, and take it with 2 hands and throw it away. This was the Ali for whom Rasulullah had said, Darbat Ali fi yawm al-Khandaq afdal min ibadat al-Thaqalain. That the strike of Ali one time on the day of Khandaq is greater afdal min ibadat al-Thaqalain. जब इमाम सादिक से पूछा गया था, मौला जरा बताइए इसकी तफसीर क्या है, इमाम ने कहा कि पता ही तफसीर क्या है, कि अनाफी सकलेन, मैं जाफर इब्न मोहम्मद इस सकलेन में हूँ, इसकी इबादत एक तरफ है, और अली इब्न अबी तालिब की जगह। The Imam is saying, Anafi sakale, I am included in that sakale, which is on one side, the ibadat of the heavens and the earth, and Ali ibn Abi Talib is on the other side. Not Ali ibn, just one strike of Ali ibn Abi Talib. That Ali we are talking about. We're talking about the Ali for whom Allah's messenger said that you are Ain Allah, you are Waliullah, you are Wasi Rasulullah, you are everything. Nobody knows Ali except Allah and Muhammad. Nobody knows Muhammad except Ali and Allah. Nobody knows Allah. That Ali we are talking about, not an ordinary person, not like you and me entering our household. This is Mawlai Kainat, Imam al-Muttaqeen, Amirul Mu'mineen, the leader of all the Mu'mineen. Not only the leader of all Mu'mineen, Kulli Iman. We're talking about somebody who's at that maqam. He is coming down, says, Assalamu alayki ya bint Rasulullah. So who am I? Main kaun? Main kuch hu? And yet I have takabbur. You see who should have takabbur? He is the tatlawa, Assalamu alayki ya bint Rasulullah. Wa alayka assalam ya Amir al-Mu'mineen. Allahu Akbar. You see, when you start that greeting with muhabbat and with kindness, the response becomes kind and responsive. And so the Imam enters the same way. Jibreel Amin also says salam and he enters the same way. So right now, when you say salamun alaykum to somebody, especially your family members, Imam Ali Rada alayhi salam says that salam you are making Allahumma salli ala Imam is saying that when you say salam to somebody, aap salamati ki dua kar rahe ho unke liye. You are praying for their peace. Peace be with you. Mean it. Imam Raza says that when you say Salamun Alaikum, you are telling that person that I will leave you in peace, I will be with peace, I will not do your ghibat, I will not do your tuhmat, I will be with you. If you need something, I will help you. If I need something, you help me. If you are ill, I will visit you. If you pass away, I'll pray Fatih for you. Imam says that there are these responsibilities of a believer when they say salam to each other. Don't take it for granted. You say, Salaam alaikum, salam alaikum, no, there's a dua you're giving. This is why, one of my teachers, one of Sadiq Hassan Sahib used to say, he says, "Aap log Canada mein ajeeb ho." He says, "I've only heard 3 things. Jab aate tab hi, jab jate tab bye, aur kuch batao isko to kehte why." Hi, bye, why. He says, salam is out the window. Salam is out the window. It's not the only thing. And so he's saying that what is happening, you look at the community, the society, and how we need to remind ourselves of the values, return back to the values, and you'll see how our problems will be solved. Every week, every month, we have challenges coming into our office, into the Hussainiya, because I run out of the Hussainiya, my work is there. Ya to miyan bibi mein problem hai, ikhtilaf hai, bache, bete, aulad, parents mein, sometimes parents and grandparents, there's all this. And if I remind them one thing, I says, are we following the example of the Ahlul Bayt? Are we looking? And you'll see, sometimes they'll be fighting about money. Sometimes they'll be fighting about, things in the house. I need a bigger house, I need a better car. Most of the time, it's not even any of those things. Most of the time, it's not any of those, it's just that attitude problem. She has an attitude, he has an attitude. And if attitudes change, believe me, 66%, maybe 75% of the problems in our community, in the community of the Ahlul Bayt's followers, will be alleviated completely because we are not following the example of the Ahlul Bayt. If we start following it, 75%, inshallah, bi'idhnillah, will be solved because we are remembering that we have an Allah to go to, we have a qabr to give our answer to, and we will be standing before the adalat of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Phir kahan hai takabbur? Phir ananiya kahan? Me, myself, and I becomes we. Whenever there is a nikah marriage and I get invited to give a talk, I give one statement, and you've maybe heard it if you've ever been to any of my nikah majalis, milads. I said, don't think marriage is giving and taking. The minute you think marriage is giving and taking, you've lost the battle. Because that means you're going to give something because you want to take something. Think of marriage, think of family, think of relationships as giving. If you get something, alhamdulillah. But if you go into a marriage, if you go into a relationship, if you go in with the thought of giving, then taking doesn't arise, there's no expectations. If there's no expectations, if something given to you, alhamdulillah, that becomes a bonus. When the husband has to vacuum, and in the back of his mind, wo mujhe thank you bolegi. The wife is cooking, usually, and she's thinking, inshallah, he will like the food and he'll say thank you. I was just talking to one lady today. She goes that he never compliments my food. Agar namak kam hoga, to fauran bolenge daantenge, lekin namak kam hoga. Lekin achha banega, achhe se achha banega, hi kuch bolega nahi. I said, sometimes we men are like that. We are sad because we don't compliment enough. And this applies to both sides. You have cooked for the sake of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah will give you the ajr. That is the itminan that we have, that is the consolation we have. Whatever I am doing is for the sake of Allah, Allah will reward me. Whether he says thank me or not, whether she says thank you or not, we remember that. But our akhlaq, as I mentioned yesterday, our akhlaq is to say thank you and to appreciate and acknowledge. Not expectation, akhlaq. This is where the equation becomes different. All of them entered into the Prophet's room. They were all under the Chadar al-Yaman. And then in the end, the Prophet, and Hazrat Fatimiyya Zahra is quoting this, that my father, Qala Abi Rasulullah, Allahumma hawla ahl bayt, hawla ahl bayt, wa khasati wa hamat lahmuhu. Oh Allah, this is my ahl bayt. They are from me, I am from them. They are my blood, I am their blood. Everything, you know the hadith. I told you, I'm not doing the tarjuma, I'm coming to the point. Finally, there is the malaika in the heavens. The malaika are asking Allah, Jibreel Yamin asks, Ya Rabbul Izzati wal Jalal, who is under the blanket of Kisa? Who is under there? Immediately, وَقَالَ رَبُّ الْعِزَّةِ وَالْجَلَالِ, Allah replies them, هُمْ فَاطِمَةُ وَأَبُوهَا وَبَعْلُهَا وَبَنُوهَا. It is Fatima, her father, her husband, her children. She becomes the epicenter of Ahlul Qissa. She becomes the epicenter of the Panjatan. She is the only one who can connect with everybody through one relation. Wife, father, children. One connection. If you look at anybody else, if you look at Rasulullah, then it's his daughter's children, his son-in-law. If you look at Imam Ali, his wife's father. So everybody else has a minimum of 2 connections. Hazrat Zahra is the only one. But I didn't take you on this journey for that reason. I want to take you on a higher journey. Zara tawajjuh dijiye. Pata hai time काफी गुजर चुका लेकिन आज Saturday भी है ना. कल मैंने इतना टाइम नहीं लिया था. कल यानी tomorrow मैं इतना टाइम नहीं लूँगा इंशाअल्लाह. Weekday है next day. आज थोड़ा सा टाइम मुझे दीजिए. एक सलावत पढ़ दो. अल्लाहुम्मा सल्ली अला फज़ाइल में तो अब ये पढ़ते रहते हैं क्या फातिमा अबूहा बालहा बनुहा बट there's a problem in there. अरे शफीक साहब क्या बक रहे हो प्रॉब्लम क्या है हदीस के साथ प्रॉब्लम हदीस के साथ में नहीं प्रॉब्लम मेरे स्टडीज में है क्या बात है ओके अरबिक में बालूहा फातिमा तो अबूहा हा मीन्स हर feminine है अबूहा इसके father her father वबालूहा her husband वबनूहा her children. आपने जब हदीस के साथ पढ़ा था वो फातिमा सलाम के कितने बच्चे थे चादर के नीचे आप श्योर है ना 2 के बाद कोई तीसरा नहीं था यू आर श्योर प्लीज 100% who recited the hadith ke sath today so you remember there's only Imam Hassan Imam Hussain okay and as far as the children of your father you are sure you recited it so the responsibility is yours now यहाँ पे आप लोग अरबिक भी जानते हो बेसिक अरबिक से ना बेटे का जब तज़किरा होता है कुरान मजीद में या अरबिक अल्फाज में तो क्या बोलते हैं इसको इब्न शफीक इब्न सुल्तान शफीक सन ऑफ सुल्तान इब्न मीन्स वन सन अरबिक एक यूनिक लैंग्वेज है इसलिए हम लोगों को कहते हैं कि जरा तवज्जो देकर अरबिक पढ़ो कुरान मजीद पढ़ो या कोई हदीस पढ़ो या ज़ियारत पढ़ो बी वेरी केयरफुल इन योर रिसाइटिंग समटाइम्स व्हेन यू चेंज द वर्ड द लेटर द होल मीनिंग कैन चेंज and if you don't recite it you know a lot of times in the ziyarat of waritha wa qalbi wa liqalbikum silmun wa amri li amrikum mutaban sometimes people say wa qalbi wa qalbikum silmun instead of saying Mola your heart and my heart are at peace you're saying your dog and my dog is at peace qalbi wa qalbikum sounds the same complete different meaning so be careful Arabic is a very rich language बहुत प्यारा ज़बान है इसलिए कि बहुत expressive है एक घोड़े के लिए for a horse there's 22 words for horse in Arabic fast horse slow horse riding horse transport horse 22 words for a horse and each one has a different connotation so in Arabic there's singular so if I was to come inside और आप दोनों यहाँ पे जब थे I would have said ठीक है हम सलाम अलैकुम बोलते हैं लेकिन सलाम अलैकुम गलत है अस्सलामु अलैकुमा there is a word for dual singular assalamu alayka assalamu alaykuma assalamu alaykum so singular is ibn son one son if there was to be 2 sons ibnain जैसे सकलैन है ऐन है नूरैन है सादिकैन है so whenever you see ऐन that means 2 and then when there is plural you will say banu bani so you just told me you recited the hadith that there was 2 sons of Bibi Fatima so ya Allah जब जिब्राइल अमीन ने आपसे सवाल किया था कि फमन तहतल किसा के कौन है चादर के नीचे तो Allah should have replied hum Fatima to wa abuha wa baluha wa ibnainaha 2 बेटे थे ibnainaha grammatically this would have been correct so my studies would have told me कि ya Allah there's a problem there but remember Allah Ta'ala knows till the day of Qiyamah what is going to happen and after that when the malaika asked the question it was not only for that time उस ज़माने के लिए था क्योंकि अब बाद में आने वाले कुछ और लोग इब्नैनहा नहीं कहा, बनुहा कहा। मतलब ये है कि सिर्फ हसन और हुसैन नहीं, हसन और हुसैन से लेकर इमाम साहिबुल अमर वल आखिर ज़मान तक वो युताहिरतुन तत्हीरा है। ताकि कोई शक न करे। बस दो ही बेटी ताहिर थे, दो ही बेटे फातिमा के, वो युताहिरकुम तत्हीरा आए थे, तत्हीर में आखिर तक तत्हीर में मौजूद है, शामिल भी है। प्लूरल इस्तेमाल करके परवरदिगार क़यामत तक का जवाब मिल गया कि don't assume that only 2 children, there the entire Bani Fatima are there. Bani Fatima, Bani Fatima, जज़ाकल्लाह। बनी मोहम्मद तो कोई है नहीं, बनु अली में कोई और लोग भी थे, शामिल होने चाहते थे। बनु रसूल में कुछ और शामिल होने चाहते थे कि रसूल की ये भी बेटी है, रसूल की ये भी है। लेकिन जब बनी रसूल में सिर्फ फातिमा का दरवाजा खुला रखा गया, only the door of Fatima was left open, nobody else's door was left open. So even if you want to say the Prophet had 4 other daughters or 3 other daughters, and this one claimed to be son of the Prophet, and they claimed to be the friend of the Prophet, friendship अपनी जगह पे है, सहाबी अपनी जगह पे है, आल और अहल होना और है, सहाबी होना और है। That door was closed, दरवाजा बंद हो गया, सिर्फ बनी फातिमा बस। And you look at the ibadat of Hazrat Fatima Zahra, her greatness as a wife, you see how supportive she was to Amirul Mu'minin. You see at every turning she would console him and encourage him. And you look at her as a daughter with Rasulullah. Why yesterday kal maine kaha tha ki Abiha, why she was called Abiha? When the Prophet was attacked, she would be there to console him. She would be his nurse. She would be like his mother. She would be like his friend. She would be there to take the blood out when the companions were attacking him, and sit and talk to him and give him that company. And then you look at Imam Hassan and Hussein, what a mother she was to train them and to guide them to become Hassan and Hussein. Imagine the training that Hazrat Zahra must have given to make Zainab Kubra into Zainab Kubra. To make Kulthum Zainab Sughra into Zainab Sughra. One night, Shab-e Jummah, Imam Hassan was behind the wall, 5 years old, 6 years old, watching his mother do her ibadat, Shab-e Jummah. At the beginning she was praising Allah, remembering Allah, doing the subhan of Allah, doing the dhikr of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Ek tihai raat ki guzar gayi thi, she was doing the ibadat of Allah, worshipping Allah, remembering and praising Allah. Then she came to Rasulullah and the Anbiya before Rasulullah and all those who were helping them. She was praying for them. Ya Allah, inki maghfirah. Ya Allah, inki hajat ko. Ya Allah. She was praying for the companions who were loyal to Prophet of Islam, who were loyal. Finally, the time for Subh Sadiq comes, the Azan of Subh comes. Imam Hassan aakar Imam Hazrat Zahra ke paas aakar, Mummy, ye meri walidah, you remembered Allah the whole time, you remembered the Prophet and his companions and those who were loyal, but you didn't pray for yourself and you didn't pray for us, Mummy. And she says, what can I do? The haqq of Allah I'm trying to fulfill, even that was not done. The haqq of Rasulullah I'm trying to fulfill, even that I could not do. There was no time to remember me or those who are near to me. The ibadat has, sometimes we think we're doing a favor to Allah when we do ibadat. Hazrat Fatima was saying, even then I have not completed it. And this is why when she called Imam Ali close to her at the last moments, she tells Mawla Ali that I know you are a Bahadur, I know you are Shujat, I know you are brave, I know that you can fight entire armies and be victorious. But Ya Ali, I also know that you have a very soft heart. I also know that you have a very soft heart. And I know that when I leave this world, it will be a very painful time for you, Ya Ali. I am praying for you to have sabr at that time. I am requesting you to have sabr at that time because it will not be easy. And Imam Ali at that time has got tears trickling down from his eyes. Those tears reach the hand of Fatima Zahra. She holds the hand of Ali. Ali, मुझे मालूम है कि क्या गुजर रहा है, मुझे मालूम है क्या हो रहा है, मैं जा रही हूँ रसूल खुदा के पास, मैं बाबा के पास जा रही हूँ, मैं बाबा को बताऊंगी कि क्या हो रहा है, मैं बाबा को बताऊंगी क्या हुआ है. Azadara Imam, you just heard in the Marsiya, अब अभी सुन चुके, जब मेरे मौला जो अमीरुल मोमिनीन, जो दुनिया के इमामुल मुत्तकीन हजरत शहजादी के गुस्ल दे रहे थे, तो बार बार चीख मार मार के रो रहे थे, चीख चीख के रो रहे थे। किसी ने सवाल किया, या अली, आप जैसे साबिर, आप जैसे बहादुर, आपकी शुजाअत किसी ने देखी नहीं है, इस तरह रो रहे थे। मौला ने क्या जवाब दिया, मैं नहीं बता सकता। फातिमा पर ऐसे इतने जख्म थे कि मुझसे बर्दाश्त न हो सका। I could not tolerate the injury. I could not tolerate the injuries that were on Fatima Zahra, and yet she would not complain. ना कोई शिकायत, ना कोई फरियाद कर रही थी। अज़ादारो, कफन पहना दिया मेरे मौला, कफन पहना दिया, सबको बुलाया गया। हसन और हुसैन, ज़ैनब उम्मे कुलसूम, अम्मा फिज़ा आकर खुदा हाफिज़ खुदा हाफिज कर लो अम्मा फातिमा को। अज़ादारो, हर बच्चे आकर खुदा हाफिज कर रहे थे। इमाम हसन ने आकर अम्मा को खुदा हाफिज कर लिया। ज़ैनब उम्मे कुलसूम को पता है हम यतीम हो गए, आंखों से आंसू फिजा की भी हालत ऐसी थी। लेकिन अज़ादारो, मौलाए कायनात की निगाह पड़ी हुसैन पर। हुसैन, आकर करीब से खुदा हाफिज कर लो। अज़ादारो, कलेजे को संभल के सुन लीजिए। मौला की उम्र कुछ 5-6 साल थी। बाबा के देखकर कहा, बाबा आज तक जब भी मैं अम्मा के पास आया, अम्मा ने हाथ बुलंद करके मेरे हाथ बुलंद करके मेरे इस्तिकबाल के लिए गले लगाए। बाबा ऐसा ना हो, आज मैं करीब जाऊं और अम्मा मुझे हाथ ना लगाए। अज़ादारो, एक मुअल्लिफ लिखते हैं कि जब हज़रत फातिमा के करीब मौला हुसैन आए, टूटे बंदे कफन से हाथ निकाल के फातिमा ने कहा, आओ बेटा हुसैन, आखिर तक मैं तुम्हें अकेला नहीं छोड़ूंगी। وسيعلم الذين ظلموا أي منقلب ينقلبون لله وإنا إليه راجعون. मातम फातिमिया।
या हुसैन, या हुसैन, या हुसैन।